In April 1999, during a two-week rampage, 22-year-old David Copeland embarked on a murderous campaign to maim and kill on the streets of London.
Until we caught him, London was always going to be at risk.
As the clock ticked, the body count rose.
The effect of the explosion would be even more devastating than the other two attacks.
And with it the question, why did someone so young wage a killing spree against the capital?
When a second device goes off almost exactly a week later, then you do quickly start thinking, is there a link?
Because he fundamentally hated anybody who wasn't him, he wouldn't run out of victims to target.
Using the killer's own words,
could you please explain to me, when you made these devices, what your intent was?
we find out why.
Murder, mayhem, chaos, damage, get on the news. Top story, really.
A vast, sprawling area covering approximately 670 square miles of southeast England, London is home to over 8 million people from all over the globe. With a diverse mix of cultures, religion and wealth, spread throughout a network of districts, this vibrant city is continuously alive to the hum of its inhabitants. But during the afternoon of the 30th of April 1999, the buzz of London's lively Soho district was about to be silenced. As another busy week came to an end, workers had begun to descend on the many bars and clubs the popular area had to offer, celebrating the start of the weekend.
It was actually quite quiet that evening for a Friday night because it was very sunny outside and very warm for the first time that year.
A popular place to unwind was one of Soho's oldest pubs, the Admiral Duncan.
It was a very long, narrow pub, low ceiling, wood panelling. It reminded me of like a Cornish smuggler's pub down on the coast.
The Admiral Duncan on Old Compton Street had been trading since the early 19th century. In recent years, it had become a popular gay bar. Small and intimate, it was known for its friendly and welcoming atmosphere and would often fill up with drinkers early on a Friday afternoon.
I was later than I normally would have been for a Friday night, and I was meeting two friends. There was quite a few people who were drinking after work, a few people in suits. There was people who were on their way to the theatre, having a pre-theatre drink there, so a very mixed bag.
But on this afternoon, the clientele were unaware that only minutes earlier, an individual had been drinking amongst them, whose sole intention was to cause enormous harm to everyone there. "6:35 p.m. Inside the Admiral Duncan, a black bag lay at the feet of those drinking at the bar. It had been placed approximately 20 minutes earlier.
I actually stood right at the back of the pub, which was my usual sort of bolt hole, just beside the jukebox.
Hi, my sister.
And Robbie Williams' Millennium, that had just started. It only lasted for about 6 or 7 bars when the bomb exploded. I didn't actually hear a loud bang, just a blue flash, and then an odd sort of noise as if kind of like cabling was being ripped out of the ceiling.
Within a matter of minutes, the upbeat, happy atmosphere had been torn apart, replaced by a bloody scene of carnage.
As I got here to the junction of Tisbury Court, I looked straight down and I could see smoke billowing towards me.
Photographer Chris Taylor was only streets away when the explosion happened and managed to capture images of the immediate aftermath.
While I originally thought it was a big fire, I realised that it was an explosion because people were panicking so much. Now I could start seeing devastation and what was happening. That I could see bodies, everybody was moving, I could see, but I could see some horrific injuries, and if these were the people that were outside, I just could only imagine what had happened inside and how bad it was.
The first thing I knew was it was pitch black. There was smoke swirling around, some smell of sulphur.
Ripped through the small space.
The smoke was so thick you couldn't even see the street, even though it was sunny outside. And I can remember thinking I might not see my parents again.
I can remember as I wandered up the street how eerily quiet it was. But the closer I got, there were people shouting and screaming and people asking for help.
One of the first on the scene to attend to the injured was medic Andy Wappling.
There was glass, there was rubble, there was wood, there was people. There were people mixed in amongst that debris. And I turned to what was the Admiral Duncan, and it was a black hole.
Three people were killed by the explosion, including a woman who was 4 months pregnant at the time. 4 lost limbs, and 70 others were injured. The bomb left to detonate inside the Admiral Duncan pub had been the third explosion in a series of similar blasts across London over the past 2 weeks.
The devices were all made exactly the same. The explosives, the nails, the plastic box, the holdall, the timing mechanism of the clock, it's all exactly the same.
In a hotel room just a few miles away, the man responsible for building and planting all 3 bombs turned on the TV. 22-year-old David Copeland watched as the news channels reported live on the chaos caused by his devastating spree.
Because he fundamentally hated anybody who wasn't him, he wouldn't run out of victims to target, and he would keep going until he got caught.
During 2 weeks in April 1999, London's emergency services were put to the test as a ruthless spree kill.
So I know they have their degree and such, but how do you know what? How do they know what he was doing at the time? You know, I'm watching TV at the carnage, and I'm like, ah. Have you got X-ray vision? I didn't capture him. It's just, it just makes me laugh. I love don't get me wrong, I love documentaries, but sometimes, you know, they can the experts on there can be a little bit stupid. .9, I think it was, or 8 should I say, degrees Fahrenheit. But what is it at the moment? Yes, it's the same. So it's 1 degree. In Celsius, that is. Happy it's Friday. Yes! Yay! I did. Feels weird though, but I did. I was watching Ghostbusters, right? And I was like, oh my god, the Don't get me wrong, I love the headphones, the big headphones, but because I couldn't hear properly, you know, the sound was very different to, obviously, to my hearing aid, so it's kind of, I was finding it really hard to hear. So it's like, oh my god, it was just like, wow. But I gotta make another, oh yeah, I forgot, I gotta make another appointment to get the ears syringed again. So, yeah, but I'm just not, that was important, but I think my stomach's more important than anything else right now. But yes, I'm happy I got the Bluetooth back and whatnot on it, so I can hear properly. So, new friend of mine, he was live, so I thought, right, okay, I'll try him out. And I thought, awesome, I can hear him crystal clear. Oh no, my stomach is important too, yeah. Still nowhere near what's wrong with it. It's driving me crazy. Yay for ears, yeah. I'm gonna have to. There's an app. There's 2 apps on my phone, and apparently they detect where if you misplace something like one of your hearing aids or whatever, they can find it for you or something. Yeah, alright, I forgot them. But are they important? Apart from the hot dog rolls and the cheese slices. Oh, you had to do another dig. Little shit. Hey, I got the S, I got the Y and the S done. Yoo-hoo! Toys! Aha, so I know where they are. Little shit!
Hello? What?
Little shit.
What? I heard you shouting.
Mm-hmm.
He just wants food. I don't want food. I've got to be dead careful what I eat because of this filling.
So we're having something soft.
Yeah, I'm having macaroni cheese. I'm going to top it with popcorn chicken and put grilled cheese over the top of it. And then garlic pizza bread with it. That's all soft. I know, I just had a reason, and I started chewing it, and I thought, oh shit!
You forgot.
I stopped.
You stopped yourself.
Yeah. He just wants food. Yeah. No, this was in my wisdom tooth. I went in to get 2 fillings done, which is basically because there was a crack between there was a cavity in the side of one of the tooth at the front of it, but it had gone into the back of the other tooth. So them 2 teeth would need fixing. So, what she said, is anything else hurting? I said, my wisdom tooth's hurting. I said, it's like it's got a tiny hole in it. So she's like, yeah, it has. And then she put that needle thing in it, and she's like, yeah, you got a cavity. And then she started drilling, and then carried on drilling and drilling and drilling and drilling. And she's like, yeah, it's all the way across the tooth. So she drilled it all out, and then fucking held the tooth together with one of them metal strap things, what wreck your fucking mouth, and then build it all. She just said, I've got to be careful until it sets properly, because it's a deep one. Yeah, it fucking hurt. My gums are still really sore round it where she injected it all. Hey, baby, how you doing? Yeah, you did, eh? Good girl. Good girl. You want some treats now? Yeah.
See, mine was just to check up, just to check the gums and stuff, but other than that.
Is that yours?
But I'm just happy I got my hearing aid.
Yeah. We've got a brand new shopping trolley on the way. I bought myself a brand new set of hex drivers, because all the ones I've got are broken because they're shit, or either that or because I'm heavy-handed.
Either way.
My new drive shaft's turned up.
Yep.
Because they've arrived today. Ordered from China, arrived from Germany. Work that one out.
Now that has confused me. Oh dear, it's just one of those freaking weeks. I can't believe it when it broke down. I was like, the whole thing
It's in a million
broke.
pieces, it's fucked.
literally in a million
Well, you need
pieces.
one. You need one. Should be here by Monday. Brand spanking new shopping trolley. Brand new shopping trolley for Grandma. Fucking handy. though.
No, it is handy because of the bottles.
Yeah. I know. What you doing, cat?
Yeah. Try and work that out.
Obviously, I can't show you the address. But I ordered it from China, and look, that's where it came from. I ordered the parts from China, but they came from Germany. I think it's their way of getting round
Customs.
customs. It's their way of getting round customs charges. I've got them anyway. The next lot of parts are on the way now, and then I'll put another order in next week. All this just to repair a fucking car. But the thing is, I miss it.
Mm-hmm.
We used to play with that a lot. Fucking beast that car is. All right, Dave. How's it going? You going back to bed? No. Okay. What do you want then? Those may come from Turkey. Yeah, I think it's all to do with customs charges and shit. So, but as long as it gets here, I'm not bothered. Hey, you got it.
And I've got that one.
You just need to find the J now. Right next to the lamppost, isn't it? Hang on, you've got it. It's there.
Huh? Oh.
You already done it. It's there.
Oh, it's.
You. Eric. There. Yeah, so I don't know. The next lot's coming.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen what you mean about the postage charges, what they're slapping on.
Yes.
I've just gone and looked at something else what I need, which is a front sway bar. Yeah?
Mm.
And it's £3, but it's £4 postage.
I told ya.
Yeah, it's because you're not buying from them direct. If I buy all metal parts, then I get them cheap. I don't get any shipping on them. But if I buy the plastic ones, I get shipping on everything. Hey, how you doing? What you after? What you want?
I was getting shouted at.
I found them behind the biscuit.
Oh my fucking god.
I found that. It's your favourite. Roast beef.
You must have hit him.
Well, oh, shut up, Moni. All you do is complain.
Actually, it's you, mister.
Hey, pissing moaning.
That's you, not me.
Oh, yeah, it's going to look good, this little puzzle. I like this one.
I got a song back in my head now.
Oh, you okay, cat? What's the matter?
Hey, can't win, can we? We got another storm. Louie, Louie, Louie. Ah, Louie, Louie, Louie. No, wait, I can't win. He's, he's gonna say what?
What do you mean, men?
Because I said I can't win.
Okay, kitty. Hey, baby. Yeah, I know. I know. You're so hard done to, aren't you? Oh. Nothing.
Nothing.
Easy.
Girly talk. Baby, okay.
On there. I beg to differ. I beg to fucking differ. Men are stubborn. Men are not stubborn.
They can be when they wanna be.
Never. Never ever. Oh no.
What you done now?
Nothing. What the fuck's that off? What's the power supply for Super Nintendo?
Eh?
What the fuck am I doing with that?
Where?
There.
I ain't got
Why
a
have I got
freaking
a power
clue.
supply for a Super Nintendo? Super Nintendo.
Well, I've already gave my Nintendo, what's it, 64.
Nintendo dildo.
I do kind of miss that, actually.
What? Miss what?
The, Nintendo, 64.
See, it really should come up with better names for these consoles. Nintendo Strap-On.
No, that was a good one.
No, because it'll make it more fun, you know, in the shops when the kids are barbering the mums.
Can I have a Nintendo dildo?
Yeah. Can I have a Sony Strap-On? Fucking hell. Stop messing about.
Oh,
Oh, that's wrong. It is wrong. That's right. You scare me. It's coming up with more fun names, isn't it?
Weird names.
Oh, the other names are boring, aren't they? I remember this. I nearly fully restored it. Hey? Didn't it? It's nearly fully restored, that is. Ooh!
Oh, I found part of the post box.
Princess Perky Tits. Oh, fuck. All going wrong. How the fuck have I got that stuck on there? Uh-oh. Oh, got it off. Woohoo! Right. I need to fucking have a look at these. I need to sort through all this stuff. I need to order loads more screws and all. We've got to get them all measured up. It's done. It's only a 500-piece puzzle. Princess what? I've forgotten what I said.
He says it, then he forgets it.
Yeah. Just random shit. Princess Piss Flaps. Not so much stuff to sort out. I'll have to go through them boxes tomorrow then. That's going to take all day. Now that I heard. That was another car who was digging up. Does it have a gearbox in it? Yeah, it's got gearboxes in it. I remember now because I was buying parts for these, doing these up, wasn't I? And trying to hope that the parts would fit on the other car. That's why. They didn't. Mickey, Mickey, come here. Good, isn't it, when I get in your way?
Yeah.
I know. It's annoying, isn't it?
I found part of the post box.
Look at that. So what am I making tomorrow? Chicken karma.
Mm.
I might make that. I don't know. Oh, go and get garlic bread and stuff, haven't I? Oh yeah, you forgot that as well. Forgot that off the list. Naan bread, you forgot that as well.
I told you on the phone they didn't have any apart from the massive ones.
Oh, you could have got them. Man, the massive ones, they would have been fine.
Now you tell me.
I know, a bit late, isn't it? Don't you lose your temper. You're in a temper tantrum. No, you can tell her. Oh no, a bit late, isn't it?
He does that on purpose.
No, I don't. That's for a Land Rover. What the hell's that for? Oh, that's my wheel remover.
Killer sent a wave of through the city's streets, injuring over 100 people and tragically killing 3 others. The devastating bombs were the work of just one man, 22-year-old David Copeland. But why had someone so young masterminded such a ruthless killing spree?
Could you tell me?
At the top of that.
On the 15th of May 1976, David Copeland was born in the West London suburb of Hanworth. The middle child of 3 brothers, he was noticeably different from his siblings, being significantly smaller than both, causing an...
He wasn't very outgoing, he was shy and withdrawn sometimes, so he felt massively inadequate relative
of violence. He apparently dreamt of killing his schoolmates. He also dreamt of coming back reincarnated as an SS officer. And it seems to there seems to have been a strain of violence that was running through him like a sort of submerged river, never quite bubbling. He made absolutely no impression on the school.
A nondescript individual who didn't stand out in any way to...
Still small in stature and with few friends to protect him, Copeland remained a shy and reclusive, stirring inner thoughts remained largely undiscovered.
He was an individual who didn't explode and erupt that other people could see, but he harboured that resentment and anger, and that fueled his fantasies into the extreme direction they took.
The 17th of April 1999, 11 a.m. David Copeland
option.
What did that mean to you for putting nails in the bomb?
Key woman's coat.
Kill people.
Oh, it's all the same colour.
and cycled the mile and a half to Farnborough Station. There he boarded the first train to London.
What?
3 p.m. Having arrived at Clapham Junction,
I'm just saying.
Copeland hailed a taxi and headed to his intended target, the district of Brixton.
Look at her. She's got no fucking kids
So this
with
is
her.
where
and she's
David
hanging round
Copeland
a toy
first
shop.
arrived by
Don't you
taxi,
fuck.
and after being dropped off, he decides where he's going to go, and then he walks off in the area over here.
Brixton Market on a Saturday afternoon is busy, lots of people there. It's also a main thoroughfare going into central London.
Copeland spent some time in the area looking for the perfect spot in which to plant his deadly weapon. His intention that he hoped would spread fear and panic across the city of London.
And the bit you have to keep emphasising is that it's over his back and it's armed and it's ready to explode.
As the countdown began, he left the scene, buoyed by the impending devastation that was about to be unleashed.
So after Copeland had left the device in the bag here, he walks off. The bag is now here for some minutes.
But Copeland hadn't accounted for the inquisitive nature of those walking by the unattended bag.
Someone came along.
No.
They cross over Electric Avenue. Still got the bag. And he puts the bag down here.
A number of passing people saw the bag and investigated it. In fact, at one point, someone took the bomb out of the bag and put it down.
So sitting on the pallet now is a plastic box containing explosives, batteries, a clock, and large quantity of nails.
It wouldn't have been clear to those passing by that
Behind me was a big skip with rubbish and other objects that were near it. The people that have found it are sort of almost hiding behind the skip, calling to each other. Some are coming to look at it, some don't know what to do, and they're trying to get a degree of shelter behind the skip.
at 5:20 the bomb exploded. The nails ripped through the flimsy market stalls, hitting everyone in the immediate vicinity.
There's a van up here. The door of it gets blown partly off of its hinges. A car is just driving past the device over there, and that also gets caught in the blast.
Although the explosive itself wasn't huge, the fact that there were nails and shrapnel which goes and travels a great distance at great speed is what does the damage.
The first numbers started saying that there were 30 plus people injured. It went up to maybe 50.
Although no one
Let me see that again. Yes. couldn't really hear it, so I'll have another look at it when I finish this.
blast. As police began to assess the aftermath, fragments of the device were quickly recovered.
When a bomb goes off, it doesn't destroy itself. So recovered from the scene then was parts of the timing device, which we knew then to be a clock, and chemical tests that we knew that it was a flash powder consistent with coming from fireworks, that you can start building up the picture of how the device was made before it went off.
The bomb itself was clearly designed to kill and maim as many people as possible. It was not a sophisticated device, but you don't need to have a sophisticated device to kill people.
With little prior knowledge of explosives, Copeland had taught himself how to build the devices through the internet, using everyday items bought locally.
The black powder was bought from fireworks shops, and in fact on one occasion he had so many fireworks that he had to order a taxi to take him home to his bedsit. He had experimented to make sure that the bombs would work. He apparently experimented in his bedsit. He also set off one of the bombs on a common nearby, just to see that the thing would work.
Weeks of planning and preparation had paid off. The device had had the desired effect, and for now, Copeland had got away with it.
We had no intelligence, no information. My thoughts went straight to, well, who was it likely to be? And my biggest fear was what it turned out to be, a criminal lunatic with no real history in our world, certainly not in this sort of territory.
Several years before planting that horrific first bomb in Brixton Market, a teenage David Copeland had become increasingly isolated from those around him. At school, he failed to form any lasting relationships, preferring to spend his time as an invisible pupil, left to his own devices. Few would ever take any notice of him.
At the age of 17 or 18, he was drinking and taking drugs, drifting through jobs.
He didn't have a lasting relationship. He used prostitutes. Life, by his view, was tough.
By late 1995, an increasingly isolated Copeland was getting out of control. His drinking had increased, and he started to take a variety of drugs, including cocaine, crack and heroin. Unable to commit, Copeland drifted from job to job. Each new job he failed at strengthened a twisted sense of resentment towards the immigrant communities who he believed were stealing the best positions.
I think the British people have a right to live in Kent. You know, the British people didn't ask these people over. They were brought over for the main reason is cheap labour. And then every white man now and woman has to work for cheap labour.
He's floundering at life while his friends and people who don't deserve to be as happy as him are clearly doing much better.
The 18th of April, 1999. In the immediate aftermath of the explosion that had ripped through the busy Brixton Market, police had begun a massive hunt to catch whoever had planned and prepared the device.
People were clearly scared, but unsure of exactly what this was.
The pressure on the service to catch the right person as quickly as possible is hard to describe. It was immense and it was intense.
Police today were maintaining a high profile in Brixton, asking anyone who may have been in the area on Saturday if they saw anything suspicious.
Electric Avenue and Brixton are flooded with police officers who have a questionnaire. Were you here? Did you see anything? To try and jog people's memories.
This guy clearly had been around for a bit. He must have been, to work out where he was going to place the bomb. He may well have made visits beforehand, and we may well have him captured on CCTV.
This borough had one of the best CCTV monitoring systems in London.
There were 26 cameras operating on that afternoon in the Brixton area. They set up teams of police officers to go through the CCTV on a 24-hour basis, continuously.
Throughout the week, the police investigation crawled forward as specialist officers painstakingly reviewed several hundred hours of recovered CCTV footage.
In those days, it was physically recovering cassette tapes rather than relying on computer hard drives. So it was a big piece of work and a very big investigative line of inquiry.
Eventually, a breakthrough was made.
What emerged 5 days later, on the 23rd, was a very blurred image, which would eventually prove crucial.
They spotted someone coming out of a tube station, going into a tube station with a bag, without a bag. It was an opportunity that clearly could be developed.
The captured CCTV image, although not conclusive, was a major breakthrough for the investigation. Hopes were high for an imminent arrest and an end to the bloody carnage on London's streets. Just 2 days later, those hopes were dashed. On the 17th of April 1999, at 5:25 p.m, a bomb exploded, ripping through a busy Saturday market in Brixton, London. 48 were injured, but fortunately no one lost their lives. An investigation swung into action, and after hours of trawling through recovered CCTV footage, a blurred image of a potential suspect was discovered. However, despite this apparent breakthrough, the perpetrator remained one step ahead of the police and was already planning the second act of his ruthless spree. The 24th of April 1999, 3:10 p.m. Farnborough, Hampshire. Just 1 week after the Brixton bomb, David Copeland put the finishing touches to another explosive device. He then embarked on the now familiar 40-mile journey to the centre of London. This time, the target was Brick Lane. With a largely Asian population, this vibrant part of East London is generally packed with people going about their daily lives.
The community here at that time, mostly it were Bengali people.
Brick Lane is a market, if you like, similar to Electric Avenue, and it would have been full of market traders. It would have been packed with people out doing similar shopping.
Wearing identical clothes to the day of the Brixton attack, Copeland arrived in Brick Lane, but immediately realised something was wrong. The normally bustling streets were unusually quiet.
Saturday is the quietest day of the whole week, because a lot of the shops don't open on Saturdays. Sunday we are busy. Sunday is the market day.
Undeterred by his error, and with a bomb set to explode in a matter of hours, Copeland decided to go ahead with his plan, intent on continuing his spree.
Could he have taken the device away and come back another day? Yes, he could have done, but he decided to leave it armed, put it between two vehicles outside of a restaurant, just to see what injury or damage it caused.
Copeland's pattern of behaviour in planting his bombs was very simplistic. He wasn't interested in anything fancy or anything to show off his abilities. He just wanted to make as many victims as he could.
The bomb had been left in Hanbury Street, about 2/3 of the way down Brick Lane, between two vans. It was in a sports bag. A man picked it up and wondered what it was.
For a second time, Copeland had not counted on the inquisitive nature of the general public.
The guy who found the bag carried it 200 or 300 metres to his car, put it in the boot of his car, opened it thinking he'd found some tools, looked in, and with the publicity and his own belief, he then thought, has he got a bomb in a bag in his car?
Discovering the police station closed, the man left the bag in the boot of the car and went to alert the authorities. 5:54 p.m. Meters away from the parked car, local resident Makim Ahmed had just left his restaurant.
I was renovating my restaurant upstairs, and my daughter was with my wife, so she wanted to go shopping. So she rang me up and said, look, I'm coming over to keep Monique with you so that I can go out shopping. So I walked down the stairs, crossed over to the other side of the road, right? And as my wife was handing my daughter over to me, that's when it all happened.
The sound was so horrendous, so big, I must have turned around to see what it was. But then for split seconds, I thought it must be an earthquake, because I fell down with my daughter, but I clung on to my daughter. And then I realized that it was a bomb, and I could see the bonnet of the car flying up in the air.
As with the first bomb, this second device had been packed with nails.
Injured a number of passers-by and damaged a number of shops. But it had none of the disruptive power that the first bomb had had.
It was a big sound, it's a blast. It must have been heard miles. You know, the blast was very big. You know, how can I describe it? It's an awful sound, a deafening sound. But it all happened in split seconds.
I remember driving into Brick Lane and you could see the smoke. There was a mistiness, a fogginess around the street where the smoke was lingering.
There was confusion in the street, people crying, shouting, screaming, you know. And I can tell you that the nails traveled about at least 100, 200 feet right up behind us. You could see the nails, big nails.
There wasn't the level of casualties that we'd seen in Brixton the previous week, fairly superficial injuries.
Police didn't know what has happened. Nobody knew what really has happened, you see. Why it has happened, nobody knew. We were all frightened, we were all worried.
There was a real anxiousness about this. You could feel it, you could sense it, that actually we were not out of the woods. This was a second attempt now. This was somebody very clearly on an agenda.
Sorry.
The second explosion, to some extent, of course, gives you more investigative leads to go on, more witnesses to interview, another forensic scene to recover, but it also creates more confusion and complexity.
In the space of just 7 days, 2 similar bombs had exploded in 2 separate minority communities of London. Although no one had been killed, another 13 people had been injured in the Brick Lane blast, bringing the total to 61.
Initially, the thought was in regards to Electric Avenue.
Right, I'm going to call it now, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I will be live tomorrow, so I'll see you guys then. See you later. Bye, everybody.